Coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting bunker here at Area 52, deep in the heart of Ozark, Missouri. We keep moving. Can't stay in one place. This is Pastor Mike, and I'm online, and I am alive in spite of references to me being near dead or having a near-death experience in church Sunday. I am still alive, and I am doing fine, and I am healthy as a horse, okay? And sometimes I eat like one, too. But I started Sunday night. I went home, and I thought, you know what? I want to blog again. I used to blog back before we did all this stuff, and when our blog got hacked for the 15,000th time, we just took it down, and I thought, you know what? I want to blog again. So I started up a blog Sunday night. It is at PastorMikeHoggard.com. PastorMikeHoggard.com. There should be a link on our church website, and there'll be links all over the place to that. And but I wanted to write about what I experienced Sunday morning, and a little bit about what had happened, and to just kind of make the ministry a little bit more personal with everybody. Just kind of, it's like a personal blog. It's kind of the things that I do and the things that I see throughout the day. And so I wrote about that, and I called it Sunday-itis, because I feel great today. I felt great yesterday. Felt great Saturday and Friday and Thursday and Wednesday and everything else. I just feel wonderful. And on Sunday morning, I don't think it's every Sunday morning, but it's been happening a lot lately. And some people are worried about my diet. I think my diet is in good shape, although I may not have the diet that other people have. I've been to my doctor. I'm trying to get my cholesterol down, blah, blah, blah. I've had my blood sugar tested, my blood pressure tested, and everything seems to be relatively normal. But let me tell you about an email that I got last night from a guy that saw the Sunday sermon. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. This is not false humility in any way. I cannot remember, and it's not that I was in a daze or anything like that, but I just can't remember much of what I preached Sunday morning. It wasn't that memorable to me. You can tell that I really struggled preaching that, and I thought if I would have categorized my sermons from like the best to the worst, that would be kind of down here somewhere. I've preached worse sermons, I know that. But a guy wrote our ministry the other day, last night, and he said, Pastor Mike, he said, I watched that, and he said, I've been bawling like a baby, and he said, God is just really helping me and dealing with me about a lot of things, and he said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go study my Bible. Thank you for preaching that. And I can absolutely tell you that that was none other than the power of God, because it was not Mike Hoggard. And I think that God allowed, just like he did in the book of Job, God allowed the devil to afflict me Sunday morning, because I'm dead honest. Sunday morning before I left the house, I was back in my little office, and I actually prayed a specific prayer. It's all about naming it and claiming it. If you name it and you have enough faith-filled words, then it'll happen. And so I just, before I left for church Sunday morning, I said, God, I would really like to not have to run out of church, okay, and have this little problem that I have. I'd really like to not do that today. And I did. I prayed it. My heart was open to God. Now, somebody might say, well, you didn't have enough faith in that. You kind of doubted. You kind of were iffy. You said, Lord, if it be your will. And but I didn't do anything like that. I just said, God, I would rather not do that. And so does that mean that God hates me? There's been times when I felt that way. No, God does not hate me. Does that mean that prayer does not work? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean that God said no? I am of the firm, and I'm not backing down from this, I'm of the firm persuasion that if you are a born-again child of God, the Scriptures are very clear on this, that when you ask God something, He does not tell you no. Now, the Bible says, for we know not what to ask. And that's true. God actually gave me something better than what I had prayed for. And God knows my heart. That was that His power would be poured forth, that His word would go out and have an effect and impact on people's lives. And if it takes me being sick during the service, I'll take that every Sunday. I will take that absolutely every Sunday. If God will allow the devil to weaken my body on Sunday in order so that God could really show up and God could do things in people's lives and all of that, I'm fine with that. Because it's not about making Mike Hoggard this stout man of God that never it's not about that. It's about showing people the real power of God. Because the truth of it is, I'm just like everybody else out there. I have weaknesses. I have frailties. I have problems. I have problems up here. I got problems in my body. I'm just like everybody else. What I'm never, ever, ever going to do, God will not let me do it. God will never let me or allow me to posture myself above anybody else and say to them or give off the impression that if you would just come up to my level, then everything would be fine. That's not my ministry. That's not what I'm going to do. God prohibits me from doing that. It's unbiblical. That's the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. You see the polished and the suave characters on TV like Joel and some of these other TV preachers. You see the polish you see that they never make a mistake. You see this, you see what they want you to see. Okay? But we broadcast our services live. If we make mistakes playing the instruments for the church service, so what? Okay? We didn't hire $800 a week musicians to come in here and play these instruments for us. It's me, it's my daughter, it's my son Matthew. We have a young lady playing flute. I bought a banjo. I'm going to try to learn how to play the banjo. Okay? But we make mistakes. We made mistakes playing music. I make mistakes preaching. I make mistakes on this broadcast. I make mistakes doing the Watchman broadcast. We just edit them out. You never see them. Okay? I make mistakes in life. That is what I do. And it's not in my strengths that God's grace is poured out. It's in my weaknesses. That's His grace poured out. And so anyway, I appreciate everybody's concern and their prayers. But I feel wonderful today. I feel like I could go out and play soccer. Somebody does not have a sense of humor. Somebody out there has a bad sense of humor. Oh my goodness. I got raked over the coals by something that I said Thursday, and it wasn't about tongues. Oh my goodness. It was about soccer. Football. I'm sorry, you Englanders and your Nederlanders. Football. It was about soccer. I said something about soccer. And I had this little, boy, I even hate to say it, I think the guy's going to show up over here. I said something about soccer, and I said it's for girls and Europeans. It was a joke. It was funny. Okay? I thought it was funny. America, just like you Englanders, I was informed by Marie, who lives in England, that she went into town and she forgot it was Derby Day. And I'm going, Derby Day? Well, and here in America they had the Kentucky Derby, which is a horse race. And she said, oh no, Manchester United and Manchester this are playing soccer, and all the hooligans are out and their faces painted. I know they get pretty serious about soccer in England. I know they get pretty serious about it in other places. But here in America, it just... I don't know. We have football. We have baseball. Baseball is my sport. I am a big baseball fan. And I'm just not that into soccer. And so I made a little blurb about soccer, and a guy writes in. I'm going to read you his email. Oh my goodness. He said, if you wanted to diss soccer, one can guess you may be just such a tub of lard you couldn't make the cut. When I played soccer, we had more broken bones and pulled muscles and ligaments in one season than the football team we had in 5. We just had enough brains that having them smashed in by some 300-pound moron seemed like a stupid way to have fun. I'm less than 300 pounds now. Thank you. I saved that kind of stupidity for when I joined the Corps and dodged bullets. Oh my goodness. It was a joke. Okay? It was humor. It was sarcasm. Whoa. Anyway, good to be with you today from our top secret broadcasting bunker here in Ozark, Missouri. I got a couple things I want to share with you today. I went back over all the missed, 400 emails that had been sent in since then. I looked for some things relevant today, and I've got a couple items that I want to deal with today, and they come by. Well, let me do this. Let me go up to. Let me go to Drudge Report to see what's going on in the world. Something about Obama making a secret trip. What is it? Is it Bilderberg time again? Maybe somebody could check that out. There was, Andrew Breitbart. Andrew Breitbart. The guy that said he had this explosive information on Barack Obama, and he said, I'm going to release it tomorrow. It's going to be huge. And that he dies that night. Now, they take his body to the coroner. And Andrew Breitbart, he runs Breitbart.com. It is a news site that is noted not to be very friendly to the Obama administration. And so here is Andrew Breitbart, and he drops over dead just ahead of these big, huge things that he's supposed to release. And then they do an autopsy. The coroner says it was a heart attack. He just simply died of a heart attack. And now, listen to this. The medical examiners in Los Angeles are investigating the possible poisoning death of one of their own officials who may have worked on the case of Andrew Breitbart, the conservative firebrand who died March 1st. The same day, Sheriff Joe Arpaio announced probable cause for forgery in President Obama's birth certificate. Michael Cormier, a respected forensic technician for the L.A. County coroner, died under suspicious circumstances at his North Hollywood home April 20th, the same day Breitbart's cause of death was finally made public. Dun, dun, dun! That just sounds, you know what that sounds like? How many remember the Clinton body count? This goes back to the 90s. All of these people that knew Bill Clinton all of a sudden died. Okay? All of the, and I will say this is public record. Okay? All of the Bureau and Alcohol and Tobacco Firearms officers that were killed on the original raid, that's what I'm trying to say, on Waco, the one that started the holdout there, all of them that were killed, not some of them, but all of the BATF agents that were killed when they originally raided the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, were former Bill Clinton bodyguards. Every one of them. All of them. The whole list, everyone that was killed were former Bill Clinton bodyguards when he was the governor of Arkansas. When you read the stories, they were talking about how he visited all these hookers, that he was at cocaine parties, this and that and the other. His bodyguards were highway patrolmen of the state of Arkansas, and they're the ones that carried him to all these places. And now, every one of these bodyguards gets sent to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and every one of them gets shot and killed. What's up with that? Okay? There's a conspiracy. You don't have to know what's going on. You don't have to see all the secret documents and everything like that. That's just not right. There's just something wrong about that. And so here, Andrew Breitbart got this humongous information on Barack Obama, and supposedly the guy that works for him now has released and said, this is it. And we're going, doesn't look like much. Okay? It makes you wonder, is there something else? Was Breitbart murdered? And now all of a sudden the guy that's part of